Hi guys, it's Nick from Let's Chat, and in this video I'm going to do my round 1 footy tips for the AFL season, because this week the footy is back, bigger and better, and hopefully this season will be just as good as any. So let's get underway with the tips. Just one thing before I go into the tips: I'm running a Supercoach league, and I'm also running a footy tipping comp. So my Supercoach league code, if you want to join, is 236150. I'll put it down in the description anyways. And for my footy tipping comp, the app you download is ESPN Footy Tips, and the name that you look for the competition is Let's Chat with Nick's 2023 Footy Tipping Comp. I'll also put that in the description as well. So the first match of the season will be Richmond versus Carlton on the Thursday night. I'm a bit annoyed about this one because I'm going to miss maybe the first half of the match because I'll be at work, but it is what it is. But for this tip, I'm going to tip my Navy Blues to win by 15 points. So hopefully they can start the season well. So now the next game is Geelong versus Collingwood, and I'm going to tip Geelong by 24 points. I reckon Geelong will be too good for the Pies, since coming off a premiership. They do have a couple of key players out this week, but I reckon they will still be a bit too strong for Collingwood. So the next game I've got North Melbourne versus West Coast. This should be a close game, you'd reckon. There's two teams, last year's 17th and 18th teams, that finished on bottom of the ladder. But I reckon North Melbourne will start the season off nicely. We'll win by 14 points. West Coast, they're on the rebuild, just like North Melbourne. But West Coast, they had a lot of their players out due to COVID last year. That's why they weren't winning many games. And North Melbourne, well, they really haven't had any good players that getting them enough wins. But yeah, so I'm going to tip North Melbourne for this one. So the next game is Port Adelaide versus Brisbane, and I'm going to tip Brisbane by 28 points. Port Adelaide last year, they had a shocking year. They came home strongly with a couple of wins, but wasn't enough for them to make finals. They were still short by like 2 or 3 games. And with Brisbane, well, they got lucky and made the preliminary final. They had an impressive win against Melbourne in the semi-finals last year, and they made it to preliminary final. And they recruited well. They got Dunkley, Gunston, and Conor McKenna came out of retirement. So yeah, so he came from Essendon. And Ashcroft, he could be the Rising Star winner. It'd be interesting to see how he goes. But yeah, I'm going to tip Brisbane. So the next game will probably be a pretty good match. It's Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs. And I could be live streaming this on the weekend maybe. I'm going to go for Melbourne to win by 57 points. I know it might be a bit harsh, but Melbourne have got the best 2 ruckmen in the competition now, in Gawn and Grundy, the 2 big Gs. They'll be hard to beat, and with the Western Bulldogs, I don't think they'll be doing much this season. They did get Rory Lobb from the Fremantle Dockers, and they did get Liam Jones back from Carlton, which I'm not happy about. Don't want to talk about it. He's a traitor. He backstabbed us. But anyways, Bulldogs, they're going to be average, I reckon. So Melbourne for me here. So the next game is Gold Coast versus Sydney. In this game, I'm going to tip the Swans to win by 45 points. I reckon they'll be too strong for the Suns. The Suns will show some promising signs, but I just don't think they'll be good enough to beat Sydney. They did beat Sydney the last time they played them, but it's a new season. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, Buddy could have a day out and kick a bag of 5. You know, he's getting old, you know, but he's still doing Buddy Franklin tricks. But yeah, so Sydney for me here. So the next game I've got here, guys, is GWS versus Adelaide. I'm going to tip Adelaide to win by 13 points. With GWS, I don't think they're going to have a good season at all. They're like one of the favourites to win the Wooden Spoon, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do win the Wooden Spoon. With Adelaide, one of the teams that should rise, get nearly be in the finals, maybe, but yeah, so Adelaide are more of a chance to win this match. So next game should be a cracker, this match. Hawthorn versus Essendon. Both teams are on the rebuild, especially Hawthorn, because Hawthorn have lost a lot of players in the off-season. And with Essendon, they should beginning to rise up again this season. So in this match, it's going to be a really classic match. I'm going to tip the Bombers to win by 4 points. So in this last match is St Kilda versus Fremantle. It should be another good game as well. We're going to tip the Dockers to win by 10 points. Fremantle, they had a good season last year. They made it to the semi-finals. They made the finals the first time since 2015. And for St Kilda, well, Max King's going to be out for a while, so they're going to be struggling to kick goals this year, St Kilda. So I'm going to tip Fremantle to win by 10 points in a close game. Well, there you have it, guys. Hope your tips go well this week, and I'm hoping that I'll get a decent score to start off the season, and I hope your team starts off the season with a win for your sake. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Catch you guys, and go Blues!